Hey, what's going on, guys? Now, today we're getting super nerdy. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the heck does Jack have in common with Bruce Wayne or the Dark Knight? Does Jack fight crime in his spare time? Well, the answer to that is I can't tell you. But today we are going to be discussing how Bruce Wayne and Batman changed my life. Oh, and if you do enjoy this video, please consider dropping me a subscribe at the end of it. Part 1, Duality of Persona. The duality of Batman and Bruce is not only something that makes for intriguing storylines, but something that's integral to the character and a reason as to why he's so beloved. It's often implied that Batman is who he really is, and that Bruce is simply a mask that he wears in order to go about his day-to-day life doing the things that Batman can't do. Now, let's apply this duality of persona to ourselves. Many of us struggle to be balanced individuals. If you're watching this and you're a comic book nerd like me, the chances are that you're often annoyed at yourself for being too nice. Being nice is not a bad thing, but being too nice sometimes means making sacrifices in your own life for the sake of others, which then trickles into other areas of your life and can make you unhappy. These small sacrifices build up and they can affect your relationships, your career, your general free time, and generally just have a negative effect on you. On the other hand, perhaps you're the opposite. Now, that's not to say that you're not a nice person or that you're a bad person, but maybe you're just not that considerate of others and you often miss out on improving relationships or advancing things such as your career because you're simply so wrapped up in your own life and you're unwilling to compromise to help others as well as yourself. This is where the duality of persona comes into play. It allows Batman and Bruce to get stuff done. Whichever side of the bat you fall onto, you need to balance yourself if you want to succeed in all areas of your life. Think of it like the yin and yang. The Bruce Wayne persona can be your public appearance. Polite, good with people, and the side of you that you need in order to advance relationships, professional relationships, friendships, and generally behave in a good manner. The Batman persona is the darker side of you, the side that's willing to get their hands in the dirt and do the hard stuff, the side that's willing to say no to people and to set boundaries, as well as show the occasional aggression when required. Now, I'm not saying you need to be as literal and as extreme as Batman and Bruce, but you need to embrace that there's a lighter and darker side to yourself, and that if you harness them both correctly, as opposed to trying to suppress one side, it's only going to improve your life. Part 2, Training and Lifestyle. Now, for the past few years, I'd like to consider my training style to be very similar to that of Batman's. I've got a pretty broad experience in different areas of fitness. I've been a personal trainer now for over 6 years. I've competed in and won a bodybuilding show. I was previously a fitness model, and I've won gold medals competing in various martial arts. It's taken me a good while to reach the epitome of what I believe to be the happiness in fitness, and that is being comfortable with how you look and not being hyperfixated on it, performing good, feeling good, and being able to defend both yourself and others. Now, I've spoken on this in previous videos, but for me, the epiphany really was getting into combat sports as an adult. I'd already dabbled a bit in martial arts as a teenager, but never seriously enough to understand combat sports as a lifestyle. You see, it's not necessarily about how you look, but what you can do that really matters. And to me, the art of fighting is the summit of what performance is, as outside of competition, it can literally determine whether you live or die. Obviously, there are other metrics to factor in, such as how good your endurance is to run away, or generally how strong are you to overcome obstacles. But overall, I'd say my main objective is to be as well-rounded in each area of fitness as possible, as opposed to being, say, extremely strong in strength, but then having a massive deficit in my aerobic fitness. Being physically fit isn't always about having ripped muscles and a six-pack, although I guess if you go by comic book standards, Batman kind of always is. It's instead about how you perform and how you feel. And combat sports taught me this when I started getting outworked and, quite frankly, beaten up by people who look less fit than me. It also emphasized the importance of recovery to me. Like, what good is it benching 120 kg if the next day I'm not able to do any moves in judo training? Finding out how to fuel your body and aid its recovery to the best you can is definitely something that Batman seeks to do, given that he's out every night fighting criminals in Gotham. This discipline and structure of a good fitness lifestyle is only going to aid you in other areas of your life, as it teaches you to be organized, forward-thinking, and always prepared. Another large aspect of Bruce and Batman's training that I enforce on my own life is his mindfulness and meditation. I discovered meditation several years back down the route of breath work, and I've got to say it has improved my life tenfold. Now, I'm not saying that it's made me become this perfect individual, because believe me, I have so many flaws still, but the importance is that I'm now conscious of them and I'm working on them. Regular meditation also helps me to just get my stuff together and really helps me to plan, prepare, and reflect on how I'm feeling, how my day has been, and what I want to do tomorrow. Part 3, the Bat Family. Now, I'm sure this one is a bit of a curveball to some of you, but as a father myself, the Bat Family element is really what makes Batman even more relatable to me than, say, some of my other comic book heroes such as Daredevil. Okay, granted, Batman may not have the best history of being a fatherly figure or guardian, and you do have to question why he continues to adopt teenagers as his sidekick. But with that being said, he does want to provide all his kids with their own independence and the skill set to protect themselves in the world that he knows can be so dangerous. Now, I'm not raising my kids to be crime-fighting vigilantes, but I'm definitely more conscious than the average parent about things that kids might need to know growing up. It's fantastic to get your kids into any activities, to watch them make friends and enjoy themselves. But alongside this, I think we need to place a little emphasis on making sure they're prepared for bad situations, such as how to defend themselves or how to spot when things are going sour. Now, for a lot of parents, they view swimming as a non-negotiable skill that they need in order to survive. But why don't we view self-defense in the same way? Unlike sports such as basketball or football, skills like swimming, martial arts, and just the importance of exercise and working out in general, these things stay with you for life, even after you quit playing whatever sport it was you played up to your 20s. Now, whilst Batman may have failed several times in the comics as a parent, there is no denying that each member of the Bat family is strong enough to make it on their own as a hero. And that notion can be applied to wanting your kids to grow up strong in real life. So those are just 3 ways in which Batman and Bruce have influenced my life and how I live it. If you've stuck around this long and you haven't already, please consider dropping me a subscribe. Now, although I'm not a superhero specific related channel, I am all about how to make your life. So I'm really interested in what makes people tick, how we can be more productive, how we can just generally strive to be better people. And I feel like Batman and Bruce definitely cover that. Being a comic book nerd and a film nerd, a lot of my content is going to often intertwine with comic book related stuff. So if you did enjoy this video, drop it a like. There'll be more coming up, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.